Welcome to your Saturn return report. I am very excited to do this with you or for you relative to the report. I hope you enjoy this. I don't really get these ordered a lot, but I do like them. I wasn't a fan of doing them before my Saturn return, nor did I get much orders after my Saturn return. I'm locked in. Like, I know how to read these so much better. Because of seeing how accurate it was in my chart. So I'm going to use my chart as a reference to let you know how it played out for me. Right off the bat, though, you are goddess touched. I always like to look at God constructs in the chart. There's the personal planet ones, but the article I usually reference uses outer planets like Pluto, Saturn. You don't have anything that the article would refer, but it doesn't matter because you have Jupiter and Juno on your moon. That is a huge deal. Oh my God. The king of the gods, you're a vessel of, and then Greco-Roman mythology, his wife, you're also a vessel of. I always look for the woman, for Juno. If it's Juno on the moon, rising or sun, she queen goddess. All right. So you are ascended as fuck. Excuse my language, but I had to say AF just to give the energy. You're way too magical. I'm almost kind of surprised you got this reading. You're Aqua Rising, you're High Queen. So like you're literally the embodiment of knowledge. You're the highest point of royalty. I can say that because I'm a Taurus rising, which is the lowest point of royalty. Low not meaning bad, you know, it's just the first ground level. You're the universe, all right? You're the highest point. You're the queen that sits on top of the high table. And I love Libras with Aqua Risings because now you teach sociology, whether you know it or not. And then you have the North Node here. So you were chosen by destiny to create this way of life as an artist, as a social spirit, right? So you have a goddess soul, a god personality, and a super social spirit. So you're what we'd like to call a universal social, all right? Or a goddess social power, right? Libra of the activist, but you are High Queen. You got Neptune in the 12th. Oh, you're like uncomfortably supernatural and psychic. So your intuition just be keying you into things and gives you no details, but you're always right. Oh my God, people must hate the fact that they can't lie to you because you're a living lie detector test. Anyway, that out the way. I have to say, Jupiter, the same degree on your moon is diabolical. Like, that's nuts. Like, you're too magic. Anything that's like Pisces and Sag is too magic to me. So, first of all, you have the Gemini signature. You were born after the new moon. This is so badass. I can't even believe it. You are literally the ascended artist. So like you have the capacity to instantly see into the meaning of an experience and who you're talking to within moments, which is unfair because the average person needs at least like a minute or two to gain the appropriate context clues to inductively or deductively reason. You already know. You know what I'm saying? The average person is going to need inductive deductive reasoning. You already just see it and know it. And that's going to freak people out. All right. Because you have a very artistic and wild way of showing them that you know they're lying or you know what they're thinking or you don't have to know what they're thinking. You're going to speak directly to it. Like this is magic. All right. So with that be at your core, you are wild. You are ascended chaos, living magic. All right. I have to be clear there. This right here is nuts. I will not stop saying that. I can't believe I'm saying it. And so next to your MC, your legacy is to be seen. So you understand the ways you're meant to put yourself out there. All right. Had to get that out the way. Saturn in your second, this Saturn return is bank. You making bank. You about to be set for life, my friend. This has always been an inhibitive influence that has held you back your whole life. Not because it's held you back, but because you may have allowed your own beliefs to suppress what you're truly worth. And once this returns, it's going to be like a burden has released. You don't have to hold back anymore. You holding back was really more out of wisdom. And if you've never held back, please just let me know and be like, Peace Dealer, you're so wrong. I'd never hold back. That'll help me kind of, learn how to interpret this more. But first of all, you have authority over the value of your imagination. Okay. Divine value is second house Pisces. This is what makes high kings and queens, the Aqua Risings, the most valuable beings. Okay. Sag has the most powerful second house. Cap has the strongest second house. And then Aqua has the most magical and divine ultimate second house. All right. Saturn here crystallizes the integrity of your beliefs with which you can manifest at will. Of course, the first 30 years of this is literally overcoming doubt and trying not to be so mean to yourself. Thankfully, you're not an over analytical, over critical Virgo that just like mercilessly hates on their own self to be better. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not trying to hate them for it, but they could really be so mean to their own self. But like you allow enough room for doubt to overcome this with the king kunks, because you can always express the light and the higher understanding of your relationships with other people, making you a spirit teacher. The person who I just read before this was also a ninth house sun with the north node on the sun and Venus. All right, which is amazing. She had Juno on her sun though instead of the moon. So I'm going back to back with reading goddesses, and I love it. The reason why this is beautiful, when I say goddess, to me it's not like a compliment, it's a title, right? In this case, you are really carrying forth this responsibility to lead your society, hence the north node. Like you're unlocking the raw quality of your attitude in order to polish it and lead social activity, social themes, society. So with that being said, this Saturn return is you after 30 years coming into the totality of value and worth. An example of this, if Kanye West is really a Cancer rising, he has his Saturn and Leo in the second house. And, unlike Kylie Jenner, who has Jupiter in her second house, or Bill Gates, which enables a rapid acceleration of wealth, Saturn does take his time. So through his Saturn cycle, after coming through the return, he became a billionaire. And then during the opposition was where, he didn't lose, he got canceled or whatnot, which was supposed to happen because of the opposition. Just like when Trump had his Saturn opposition, he lost the 2020 elections, but that was part of the plan. So just something to keep in mind. This Saturn second house is wealth security through the ingenuity and divinity of your own beliefs. How valuable and how much worth do you believe you have and are? Because the more you believe in your own value, the more you are about to get paid, my friend. So let me share with you how this worked for me. I am a Taurus rising. Saturn for me is Capricorn because I was born in 1990. And basically when Saturn returned for me, right, I have a Gemini sun. So it was on my ninth house cusp. I graduated college around this period. Saturn in the ninth delays graduation, right? From experience, and your relationship with your father. But with that being said, how did the Saturn return play out for me? In my ninth house of higher education, I got approached to help build a university. So my Saturn return mission is tied around creating a school. But what was the nature of the school? Well, my sun in Gemini, right, makes with that Capricorn energy an 8th house angle. The moon is 8th house, even though the sun makes a 6th house angle to the Saturn. Because that Saturn fell near the 8th house, the nature of the college was a 8th house occult school. We were teaching 9th house about the 8th house, the occult. And that opened my mind to how legit the Saturn return is. It spells itself out. Okay. And then I learned about the cycles and how to take your time with not trying to rush. So Saturn has already anchored authority over your celestial title of High Queen. So now you've got the badge, pretty much is what it means. And once it returns for you coming in the next year, it's official. That being said, I have 24 degrees Saturn Capricorn. When it was 24 Aqua, 30 degrees, it began to manifest. I began to manifest the supernatural energy and knowledge of the power. And once it's 24 Pisces, that's third stage activation. I'm going to begin to experience exactly why this plays out and what's actually happening. And I'm already seeing synchronicities in line to that. When I realized this, I stopped rushing the process and realized this Saturn quality really does time the process, as Saturn rules time and timing. All right. Now for you, your 0 degree activation is going to occur coming into the next year. After the retrograde, it goes direct in December. And then, of course, by Pisces season, we have the return for you. All right, which is just exquisite timing. Like, you're that magical. Now, why is this important? The North Node is also going to be in Pisces. So destiny is going to unlock this facet of karma so that you can use what the Saturn Pisces graduating class of 1995, every graduating class in Saturn group has a supernatural ability attached to it. Saturn and Aquarius, the graduating class before you, born like from 91 to 93, theirs is universal manipulation. They literally have like galactic real estate. Yours is reality warping with your imagination. All of you guys born from like 93 to 95. All right. Okay. So with that being said, the way with which you're anchoring this authority to quite literally believe what you have and are worth and it magically materialize, because Saturn is the crystallized totality of the material universe. Putting it in Pisces materializes your imagination through integrity of beliefs. So if you doubted yourself, that's what will have you fall down that rabbit hole. But now you are fulfilling yourself. And this is going to mark a milestone in which you probably never had to worry about money, but now you're so much more disciplined in making your own wealth. Everything that now in Virgo will prepare you over the 6 months to get into. All right. So with that being said, we know that the North Node by March of next year is going to get ready to unlock with the new and full moon, this Saturn return. Your Saturn return is going to activate at 20 Pisces. Then at 20 Aries, it's going to manifest the power and potency of the belief around your worth by establishing authority over the raw attitude and mindset to push it forward. Then we're going to have the 60-degree, 20-degree Taurus, that's 60 degrees from Pisces, which will ground this belief of worth by anchoring this foundation of wealth that you're comfortable with. So that by the time it's 20 degrees on my sun, I'm 20 degrees Sun Gemini. By the time it's 20 degrees Gemini, you've begun 90 degrees of integration. Okay. So this from 20 degrees, from 20 Gemini is activating your Saturn return. That's something that helped me understand the timing of why at certain intervals, I just step more into the power. And in knowing this timing, it helps you really take your time as far as allowing yourself to grow and not feeling things have to happen. So the second house is going to make this money motivated. All right. But as a Libra sun, we know that Saturn, right? The sun makes, of course, close to a quincunx, a Scorpio signature to the Saturn. All right. So Saturn kind of being from the 6th house, but close to the 7th is going to really reflect your awareness of how this authoritative belief around what you're worth will impact directly how you deal with other people, how you draw boundaries with other people so they can invest in this totality of belief and imagination and creativity, and also how you integrate and transform your relationships with other people relative to this bank. I mean, I feel like with Neptune that's gone through here and the North Node that's going to unlock this, this is a reservoir for billions. I mean, a lot of money. But even if it doesn't relay materially, this is magic, my friend. I'm not even gonna lie. This is buku. You're too magic. You're too magic. And like, let's say the first 30 years was you having a magical vehicle, but you weren't old enough or of age to drive it. Now you're being given the keys. And like, we know you got the Sag Moon, so you're going to ride it like it's a 2-seater convertible sports vehicle. And that's going to be badass, my friend. I think you're going to enjoy. That being said, Saturn will, coming into the next couple of years, go into Aries and begin to now create potency to apply this belief system around what you're worth, to direct it through original, authentic actions that further manifest the power of this value that you were born believing in and having. very prominent position. I think this is going to be a very successful Saturn return for you. I definitely look forward to your feedback. And until next time, peace.